This is a test of the Boundary Park alert system.
Hello and welcome to the Boundary Park Alert System with me, Matt Dean. This is a little bit of a bonus episode. I was at the event for the fixture launch today and I took my microphone along so that I could catch up with the likes of Schofield, Darren Royle, Micky Mellon and some of the other people in the room to talk about the opportunities to sponsor Latics, the upcoming season, SportsTown, and just get a bit of a catch up after what has been now about a month off away from the football, from the Latics. Been watching the World Cup, been watching the transfers and whatnot, but really just taking a little bit of a break from the whole Latics thing. And it was really, really nice to get back into Boundary Park. It was lovely to see a busy room, lots of enthusiasm in the room, and catch up with Darren and Micky and Sue, etc. And managed to have a word with Micky and Darren about doing a pre-season interview, proper one, which we will be doing at the end of July. So that will kick the season off again. But before that, let's have a listen to the conversations that I had at Boundary Park this afternoon. Hope you enjoy this little bonus podcast and we'll see you all soon. I'm at the Business Breakfast 26-27 fixture release launch event. It's an opportunity for the club to try and get lots of business people in the room so that they'll sponsor the club next season. I'm sat with Mark Furley, who is a current sponsor. He's the owner, the operator of the Barbecue Buzz in Oldham. And Mark, you've had the honour of being on the shorts for the club last season, as well as on the advertising boards and like that. What's it like being a sponsor at Latics?
Oh, it's been absolutely great. When the opportunity came up for me to actually sponsor them, I would jump to the chance. I've been an Oldham Athletic fan since I was a baby. I had my older brother bringing me up with Oldham Athletic. It was something that I needed to do for me as well as my family and my brother. My brother's so proud of me. But the opportunity to excel Old School Barbecue to another level of being able to sponsor a club like Oldham Athletic, I'd never even thought I'd be able to do anything like that. But to be given the opportunity to run the shorts is an absolutely amazing feat for myself as well as just a business and stuff as well. So it's been great.
I mean, I've known you and your brother since I was 4 or 5 years old, so I know that Latics a big part of your family life. It must be a real buzz. I've thought about like my business on the front of the shirts and all that kind of stuff. Is it something that you would have thought of a few years ago? I mean, or is this something you've always wanted to do? Is it expensive? Is it tough? Is it worth it? Like, from a business point of view, is it something you have to think seriously about? Can your heart rule your head a little bit in these kind of things? When you strip away the glamour, what kind of a decision was it?
So, no, I never thought I'd ever be able to do anything like that. It wasn't even on my spectrum of even to try and sponsor someone, anything like that. I've done small local football teams, basketball teams and stuff, but never to the calibre of your local town's football team. But I got to the position where my business was financially viable to do something like that, and the opportunity just popped up, and I never even thought of it. And to be honest, Matt, I didn't give it a second thought. I went, no, that is something I really, really want. And I spoke to people who said, God, I didn't even think of that myself. And I'm like, well, you wouldn't have thought so. But I think for myself, yes, I'm so glad I've done it. And I really, as soon as it was mentioned, I jumped at the chance. And I'm talking, I were pestering to the point, I'm like, Mark, leave me alone now, come on. And, well, they all know who I am. They know I won't pester. That's bad ADHD. But I've got a great relationship with the club now, and it's just bigger, better things coming our way now as a business. And on the side of financial, yes, it's a very expensive thing to do for a small business. But that just gives me my mentality to work harder and get more people in the restaurant to be able to fund local things, because it's not just going to the club, it's going to the breakfasts like this, other things as well. We've got the advertising around the board, the Oldham Athletic fans get a discount at the restaurant with their season ticket. We're doing something else which will go for the next season as well. But long days ahead. That's all. I've got plenty of years to come with Oldham Athletic.
I'm Mark, Head of Revenue, Hospitality and Events.
Right, revenue. That's a big one, isn't it?
It is a big one. A lot of pressure, but you've probably seen close to the end of last season, a lot of new sponsors are coming on board with us. MPS, Viking Direct, and obviously now Monarch Metals in the old scoreboard. So it is exciting. Oldham businesses are coming back on board with us, and it's good times.
It's a high pressure job because obviously you're judged on the results, aren't you? You've got to bring that money in.
Yes.
It's been a lot more difficult in the past for people your predecessors. I guess the momentum that the football club now has and the facilities that it now has makes your job a bit easier. I'm not saying it's easy, but it makes it a bit easier, doesn't it?
It certainly makes it a lot easier. One of the biggest factors is the results. If we're winning, people are coming watching us, and everything that's happening around the ground, businesses want to be part of it, especially with the SportsTown and everything. So it does make it a little bit easier.
Absolutely. But you've still got to get people to power the money though, haven't you? Which is not an easy thing to do.
Not an easy thing to do, but I do my best.
Yeah. Well, it's great, and what I love about coming here every time, you can see something different every time. There's an improvement, even if it's just a little thing, but you can see it every single time. And I think events like this, it just feels so exciting, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and that's the general feeling from our partners and sponsors and hospitality. We sold out hospitality all last season because it's a family-run business, and we're all one family. Whether you spend £100 or £50,000 here, you're treated the same.
Yeah. And these kind of events have a really nice informal feel to them, don't they?
Absolutely. Yeah, I love putting on these events. This is what I'm known for, and we plan to do a lot more. So, yeah, watch this space. It's exciting.
Yeah, it is. Cheers, Mark.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. You were the only one who wasn't speaking to anybody, so I had to grab you while you were in mid-conversation. So I'm here with Sue Schofield, co-owner of Oldham Athletic. How are you, Sue?
I'm good, thank you. I'm really good. How are you?
I'm good. Do you think you're going to get a load of money out of the people in the room today?
I hope so. We're just happy with the support. We've got good sponsors, and we're getting more sponsors, which is every little helps.
Yeah, I was just chatting to Mark then, and I was just saying that the success of the club, the feel-good factor of the club, results on the pitch, it all helps for people wanting to be involved in the football club, and it's changed. This coming into your fifth season, which is mad. It's flown by, but things have changed a lot since before that, and people want to be associated with Oldham Athletic again, don't they?
Yeah, and they do, and it does matter from the season ticket holder or the person that just comes to an odd match day, buys a pie and a pint, buys the shirt. Anybody who supports the club in any way that they do, it helps. It helps us every single bit.
Yeah, and I think that pride. I think we're always been proud of our club, but the pride's returning, and the association with the town and the club. It's starting to grow, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean we work really well with the council. The council are really supportive of the club and SportsTown as well. They've been supportive with the rugby. And it helps to all work together to a common goal.
Are you enjoying things like 5 seasons in? I guess it's probably never normal running a football club, but are you starting to get a sense of normality with it, or adjusting to it, or whatever?
I would say adjustment. I'd say it isn't a normal scenario, and to have a 13-year-old son and think that owning a football club has been part of his life for 4 years and going into the 5th season, that is just mental, and but it's adjustment. It's a lot easier. We're in a happier place. It's a lot easier that we're in League 2. It's a lot easier that things around SportsTown are happening, with the little Wembley nearing completion, the top floor nearing completion, seeing advertising hoardings going up everywhere, and just having interesting conversations with other bodies around is really interesting, and we're moving forward, and I think the town's moving forward as a whole. Hopefully we're going to get this MDC through, which will bring external money from government to our town rather than to another town. You know, it's not money that we're asking for from a pot that's not there. It's just that we're asking for our town to be prioritised for that pot.
And that covers Northern Roots site, which is a really innovative urban farm. There's the town centre, which does need investment, and then it's the SportsTown project. So it's not just SportsTown, and as Latics fans, we're all into our sport, we want that, but this is really important for the town of Oldham, isn't it? That if we miss this opportunity, it's going to be really hard to get into this position again to get this kind of money, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. It puts us at the forefront of people who want to invest into a town, external investors. But the MDC itself has to have 10 years of projects lined up. So it can't just be a smaller project, which although SportsTown's a huge project, in the general scheme of things it's quite small. So they're looking for that long-term investment into a town, and why shouldn't Oldham get it?
Micky, fixtures right? I know you said all this sitting here, but Port Vale at home for the first game. It's going to be a big test for the first game of the season, that.
Yeah, you'd expect sort of the team coming down from a level above. They'll want to hit the ground running as we want to do. So yeah, great game to start. So looking forward to that one.
It's been an exciting early pre-season for fans. We've never had so many, well, not never had, but for a long time we've not had so many signings, confirmation that some of our favourite players are staying. Has it been exciting for you as the coach as well?
Yeah, absolutely. It can be a sad time at the end of the season where you've got to sort of part ways for players because you just think maybe that we needed to make some change. We need some change in the building, so that was tough because they were good players and were good people, but we felt that change needed to be made. And then when you see them getting fixed up with clubs and you think that will do them good, then you start to think, we needed change as well. And you start to see the players that are coming in, different personalities, different player types, player styles, to try and mix in with what we already have is challenging and really exciting, and we're looking forward to seeing how things progress.
I mean, lastly, I asked you the question before about Matt Hudson, but that back five now, with bringing Morris in, Robson was brilliant last season, Daniels and Month and centre half, that back five, that's the foundation to build on. It's really, really exciting, I think, that with that back five. Right back was a bit of an issue last season with injuries and whatnot, but is that the foundation for getting out of this league?
Yeah, I have a process that I try and keep simple when I come into any football club, and it's how we're going to score goals and how we're going to keep clean sheets, because that's absolutely the way to look at it in order to try and win games of football and try and bring success. We quite clearly were a team able to keep clean sheets for a whole host of reasons. It's not just the back players. We worked very hard and defended very well and had an organisation that seemed to work for us. Where I think that we had to improve was, could we score more goals? Could we score more goals and keep the clean sheet, still make good decisions about getting forward and try to score goals whilst still thinking we don't want to get done in with turnovers and set plays and all the rest of it. So yeah, we definitely have the foundations there that they'll come back and they know they'll have to work hard again, and there's a new addition and maybe a couple more to the defensive side of things. But certainly we're looking like a team again that should be able to keep clean sheets. No new challenges for us is to go and score goals.
Well, you mentioned it in the panel, when it clicked last season, when we were scoring goals. I think early on in the season I thought we were playing well, creating loads of chances, but we were missing most of them. And then that period where we went on that run, where it just clicked, I think most fans were like, this is what excited us about this coming season. They could see the potential. You mentioned that it takes a while for the players to adapt to a new division, but I think from a fan's point of view, we are genuinely excited about next season because there is a lot of talent in that team and you're adding to it. So you've obviously wanted to come back and sign a new deal. League One, it's getting closer every season, it feels like.
Well, that's what we've got to aim for. Oldham has to be a club that needs, not wants, needs to get into League One. That needs to get in there and be sustainable. We've got fantastic people that run the football club. I know everybody goes on about that, but we genuinely have. They cut their cloth accordingly, and I would never ask them to do anything differently. So we'll need to do it within the remits of that, in order to try and do it. And we've got the youth set up now that should be able to add to that. And then with a bit of clever recruitment, good loans, obviously good players. You need good players, good togetherness. We've got the facilities, the environment now. Everything's moving closer to what we all want it to be, and that's a League One club. I don't want to put too much pressure on it, because I know what it's like at football clubs where people can get anxious and are disappointed. As long as we keep making progression, and as long as we keep saying we are moving closer to it, that's what we have to keep trying to do, and we are moving closer, so that's good. And
one last question, I know the listeners are going to want to know, there's been managerial changes at Burnley. Young Micky Mellon. Is there? You mentioned it in the panel. Is there any chance that you might come back next season?
I would love to, obviously, for not just me, my reasons, for footballing reasons. You would love a goal scorer at your football club, because he would have got 20 goals. There'd be no doubt about that. He'd have got 20 goals. But they're expensive. They are expensive, and I want to keep people's expectations there. And I'll be honest with you, we haven't really gone into it too much, because at this minute in time, it would be an expensive thing for us to do. So I don't even want to give people too much excitement on it and say we'll see what happens and the rest of it. We've got a lot of stuff that we want to get done. There's a lot of players that we have a lot of plates spinning with at the minute, and exciting ones as well. And hopefully we can get them in. We can move closer to what we all want, and that's to try and to move up a division. And I'm not trying to dance around your question about Michael. It's just that it might be a wee bit beyond us at this stage.
The one thing that we do need a bit more of from last season is maybe goals from more positions around the pitch to help out the strikers. You brought in Morris, who's that kind of attacking fullback who creates chances and scores goals. Yeah. So is that something you're going to want more of then, for more goals from around the pitch? Yeah,
you have to get the balance right in that. Obviously, we can't just go gung-ho. But what we'll do is we'll work with the player, and we'll say to the player, we want you to get forward, but we want to make you more measured and make good decisions about going forward. That doesn't mean to say I'm going to put a lead on any of them. I want them all to go forward and try and score goals. But what it is you've watched in the World Cup, it's about making the right decisions, about going to try and do that. And that's what they'll try and do as a team. But we definitely want to try and add more goals to what we do. Put less pressure on trying to keep clean sheets all the time and try and score more goals. That's what we'll be trying to do this season.
I'm here with top marathon runner Darren Royle. How are you?
Top marathon eater, I think. I'm all right, yeah. Running wise, I've cut right down, just chilling out a bit. Excited about today.
Yeah, I know. I think the fixtures, we've got Port Vale at home on the opening game and Bristol Rovers away for the last one. That's, as an away day goes, on a Saturday, Bristol is a great one. Could be a promotion, contender, playoff kind of fixture. What do you reckon?
Yeah, Bristol's got many happy memories as a child. My dad was at Bristol City and we lived there, so it always feels nice going back to Bristol. It's a great city. I think Steve Evans he has done an amazing job already, turning a big club around, so they'll be really strong. It will hopefully be a big game. Looking at all 5 of the last fixtures, they all look tough. Depends how the club's coming down fair. So Northampton we've got in the last 5 games of the season, so be interesting to see them, and obviously the first one, Port Vale, is on TV at home, so it's on TV 12:30 kick-off, I am told.
Right, it doesn't matter to us, we'll be there, but plenty of people can't make it. International club and all that. There was a panel, Micky was saying how it is going to be tough this season. Some of the teams that are coming up, Moneybags, York, Rochdale, both 100 plus points last season. Clubs that are coming down generally, have got obviously they're in decline, but they've got good budgets for this league, so it's not going to get any easier, is it? But I think the main thing is that we're competitive, and are you feeling like with the business that's being done and that is to be done, and on top of what we've already got, that we will be at least competitive next season?
Yeah, you've got to feel confident about the way we finished the season with the squad that we had. The reaction from the supporters has been brilliant around the signings we've made. We were in early, getting the players that we wanted, and then we've just kind of stepped back. The recruitment team's been outstanding, working the socks off every day, led by Greg and Micky and Gary and Terry, and the rest of the staff are all involved in that process. So Yeah, it's been a thorough process. So the season will be tough. These leagues now, you watch any of the EFL leagues and the Premier League, they're all fine margins, aren't they? They're all decided by bits of brilliance, or mostly, these games. There's not many games that are absolute whitewashes and 5-0, 6-0 results anymore. So English football has got really competitive. What we have to do is to really work on those marginal gains, as they say, to get us the edge in games, and part of that's the training ground this year as well, which it's supported by the owners. We've got renovated into I wouldn't say it's a training ground, it's a performance centre, both culturally and from a facility perspective. So it's somewhere where aspiring League One players would want to go. What it means is that they're not going to be travelling to and from the stadium, warming up, cooling down, getting little twitches here and there, possibly sometimes, eating at a different place to where they train, changing at a different place to where they train. So it's what most professional football clubs have. We've never had it, have we, all this time? So we realised, we listened to the manager and the staff, how critically important it was. And it's going to be a great day when we cut the ribbon and open it, and it's there. Then it's an asset for the club for many years to come.
When is that?
We haven't actually got a date for opening yet, but it's this Friday. The players are back in for testing, so they're going to go through a battery of tests, and then they'll use the facilities then for the first time. But it's got everything you would expect a club of this level and capacity to have.
Well, I'm sure you'll let us know when the opening is, and we'll come down. But just on the differences, I mean, I remember that season, that pre-season, before the announcement was made of the takeover, because I used to rent an office just opposite Chapel Road, the business centre there on the corner, and I walked past it, and it was like a wheat field. It was the grass was so long and so dry that it literally looked like a wheat field. So that's the progress that we've made. And I asked Micky during the panel about whether the changes had been met his expectations, exceeded his expectations, but he said about it being slow and steady progress, and that makes me want to talk to you about SportsTown, because that's what we're looking at here, is years ahead now. We're not. Latics has been hand to mouth for such a long time, but SportsTown is part of. It's something bigger for the town of Oldham, which I'm sure you can explain. But in terms of Oldham Athletic and Oldham, this is about thinking decades ahead into the future and creating an ecosystem that can help the town and the football club thrive. So do you want to tell us about where we're at with that?
Yeah, it's a really good segue into what we were talking about there, Matt. So SportsTown is it's a major community regeneration project. First of all, it's health, sports and wellness, and it fits in with an entity that we're trying to get passed through called a Mayoral Development Corporation, and what that gives you is certain rights and protections and access to investment. So the first key point about SportsTown is, for anyone that's doubting it, is it's not coming out of your taxpayer money, your council tax money. It's not coming out of Oldham Council coffers. It's money that is going to come from central government and from other grants and funds, public and private sector, that we've got to put a compelling master plan together and convince people to invest in it. But it's part of a bigger picture, 10 years worth of revenue coming into the town if we can get this through. It's apolitical, and by that I mean, it was first voted through by a Conservative government, and then it went on pause, and then the Labour government then approved it. So it's one of these brilliant schemes. It's I think, I'm biased, I look at other mayoral development corporations that are brought in for other things. Ours is a community regeneration model. It's the young people and people in general in population that will benefit from health and wellness. It's incorporating the Healthcare Trust, Northern Care Alliance Foundation Healthcare Trust, and it's incorporating the council as well. So it's a unique public-private sector partnership. And again, the beauty about this is that we are joining dots, literally, to have the rugby, netball, cricket, darts, and hopefully another sport we're announcing very soon. 6 sports played here at SportsTown, attracting grant funding for facilities for the young people to use, as well as everybody else, is key. Some of the main things that we're trying to help and fix towards Oldham is education outcomes. which will affect the employment market in the future. If we've got better educated kids that stay here and live in Oldham and pay taxes, it's good for everyone. It's good for the local economy as well. So it's got many positive effects to it. What we're asking Latics fans and sports people, sports fans and general members of the public, if you're unsure, ask the question. Ask if you've got any thoughts on it. Go on to the public sector consultation, which I think you can post a link, Matt, can't you? And then let's get everyone's voices heard on it. But it's a no-brainer to do.
I think, these days, people, there's a lot of news being, not the same news, there's a lot of information being put out there. Some of it's right, some of it's wrong. You're not always going to agree with everything about everything, first of all, so nothing's perfect. But there is a consultation that they want to hear from the local people about it. Do a bit of research, go online. If consultation is going to ask you questions, you might not know the answers. Do a bit of digging. You can find out anything on the internet. Do a bit of digging, have a bit of a read up, and then offer your opinions on what's there. That's all you're asking. So that's all anyone's asking. But get involved in that small way. The deadline's the 1st of July, so there's not long. So please do put your thoughts down in that survey. In a worst case scenario, the MDC is obviously a bigger thing than SportsTown, but the MDC is vital to the next step for SportsTown. What happens in a scenario where that doesn't come about, the MDC? What happens to SportsTown then?
Yes, so SportsTown continues. It's already phase 1's complete, so we're going to have an anchor institution, a university centre in the town around sports, health and wellness, which we've never had. The facilities for sport, for community sport, grassroots through to elite sport are going to be enhanced in the town, better than we've ever had. So all of that's going to happen, but that's probably 1/5 of the potential, and 1/5 of the potential grant funding that we could access, money that we won't have otherwise for the town. It's people taking off lenses, political lenses, and looking at it through a clear set and going, right, is this going to be good for our community and our town long term? Yes or no? And obviously we're entrenched in the yes camp. What are the downsides? I can't see any. So it will go on. It will probably go on at a different pace and a different scope ultimately, if that was the case. But I think we're very hopeful that common sense should prevail with this. And obviously it comes down to asking questions if you're unsure, and getting the right answers out of it. So it is a once in a lifetime opportunity for Oldham, and that's including Northern Routes as well, which 150 acres of land that's going to be redeveloped for the community to use in sport as well, sport, health and wellness and the arts. So there's a brilliant project down there that's taking shape.
100%, and these kind of opportunities don't come along very often to get this. And the one thing that we all know, Oldham has been underinvested in the past. It's been difficult for businesses to set up and survive and thrive. So hopefully it's get on that link and especially if you want to support it, then you can do something to do that. It sounds like a really, really big project, SportsTown. It sounds like a really interesting project. It sounds like something that would really benefit from having a podcast about. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a great question. I don't know where that's going, but yeah, we have plans for a podcast. There's a couple of reasons why we haven't been probably overtly promotional around SportsTown. The first one was that it's changing constantly in potential and scope, which is a great thing. The second one is that it's highly complex in terms of signing partners up, and that could be education partners, or it could be sports pathway partners, or grant funding agreements, and then obviously with elections as well, everything slows down from a promotional perspective about that, and we can and can't do certain things. But yeah, we're ready to go quite soon with information out to the public about it, and it's understandable why there is a bit of confusion around what SportsTown is and isn't, and the podcast will be key to that, getting the right people on and asking the right questions, the hard questions as well. So obviously really looking forward to working on that with you.
And the thing the one reason that I want to do it as much as anything, I believe in the project and the whole regeneration of Oldham and everything, but it's the meetings that I've been to, the conversations that I've had with you, it's very complex, it's very high level, it's quite hard to understand. I want to try and break that down and make it a bit more digestible and so that everybody can sort of start buying into the idea of the project and understand where it's going and understand the challenges behind it and understand the benefits behind it and try and get everybody on board with it. So I'm really looking forward to it as well. I'm sure we're going to make a fantastic double act, Darren. What do you think?
Well, I'll have to up my wardrobe, won't I? I need to sort myself out on that front, I think. I'm all right in terms of marathons. I've done one and eaten more, but yeah, the wardrobe, I need to sort myself out. So once I've done that, I'll give you a shout.
If we can inspire each other, me to do a bit more running and, you sort your wardrobe out, then we'll be laughing, won't we? Mutually beneficial. One thing we do need for this podcast is sponsors. So if you are listening, you're more likely to respond to Darren asking than me. Ask for sponsors, Darren.
Well, I think partners as well. Any sponsorship, you've got to get some value out of it as well. So, like I said, this is going to be the biggest opportunity in 50 years, delivering social, economical, health value to the community. So, being aligned with it. If you're a business or an individual, but if you're a business in Oldham or around Greater Manchester, it's a great opportunity to support us and get that exposure as well. So it will be good. So Matt will put the link on for that as well. But it's important that we do support this. It's not something that can fund itself. So look forward to working with people on that one.
One last question then. Andy Burnham has been the Greater Manchester Mayor and he's been behind this project. He was at the presentation about the MDC. Are we going to be able to get the future Prime Minister on the podcast to talk about it, do you think, Darren, or what?
Andy Burnham has been supportive right from the start. We met him on the 23rd of January in 2023. I think we were supposed to be playing Southend and it got called off. And we thought, he's not going to turn up here. And he turned up and he spent 3 hours at the stadium with myself and the Rothwells, looking through plans, reflecting on what he'd done at Lee Sports Village in Wigan and Lee, and realising the actual, from a levelling up perspective then, the actual value it presented. And that got us into the first bit of funding. He's been supportive ever since. And, it's a $1 million question. Is it a good thing for us, Andy, getting the Prime Minister's job if he gets it? I think it's looking likely. Or is it better if he's the Mayor of Manchester? We don't know, but I think he knows that this is a great project. So I think, back to your question, will we get him at a game? I think we need to make the car park a bit bigger for media vans if we do. We do know the chef at Checkers, who's a lifelong Latics fan, so we'll have to ask him what he has for his breakfast, and then we'll make sure we get the food right if he does come.
And that's the thing with, like you said, a bit non-political. The Mayor of Manchester is going to change. It might well be a Labour Mayor again, but it's not aligned, it's not affiliated to one particular mayor or one particular party, is it? It's something that's going to transcend whoever's in power. And also it makes it easier, doesn't it, for things to happen in future with the protection of the mayoral office, regardless of who's in the mayoral office.
Yeah, that's the beauty about the Mayoral Development Corporation. It does give it some kind of protection from councils changing and governments changing, and it's then focused on long-term common sense thinking. It needs a 10-year investment pipeline of opportunities into it. So clearly, if you've got 2 elections within that time, a minimum of 2 elections, it's going to be tough if you haven't got those barriers and protections. So it's exciting. I'm hopeful that the feedback from the consultation from the public will be good. And again, happy to meet up with anyone who's got some very negative views on it and explain to them and understand why they've got those views, because it can only do good things in the local community and for North East Manchester as well. So all systems go. I think the elections, the mayoral elections, at the end of the month, aren't they? Which will be another step change in terms of where we know what we're doing and who we're working with. But look forward to it, whoever it is.
Brill. Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that we get the result we want. If not, we'll keep everybody informed on the SportsTown podcast when that's out.
One last question. Can you make the quiz a bit easier? I think you're turning off people going onto that quiz. It's possibly the toughest quiz I've ever come across.
The Latics mind.
Yes.
It's the supercomputer puts out the questions and there's nothing else we can do about it. I mean, we probably could make it easier, but I think people like to be challenged and they like to learn.
Is that what you
They like
call
to push
them?
themselves.
Supercomputer.
No, that's Paul Prendergast is a supercomputer. Yeah, no. Andy's just the administrator.
Paul's a historian, isn't he? So, yeah.
So yeah, no, we can't make it easy. It's going to get harder and harder. Just got back in my car, a very, very hot car in the car park at Boundary Park after the fixture release breakfast, an opportunity for the club to sell hospitality, match day, sponsorship and things like that to local businesses. A lot of businesses in there that were supportive of the club over many years, and it's really great to see so many people wanting to get back on board and support the club and put money in so that we can get out of League 2 now and into League 1. The costs of running the club are only going to go up and up and up, including players' wages as well as energy bills, etc., etc. And we all give what we can to help the club and support the club financially, whether it's through attending games, buying merch or whatever it is. So it's really important that we all back it as best we can and try and get as much of a chance as possible to get into League 1, which is at least where we belong. So it's been a really, really good day. It's been really nice to catch up with everybody at the club. It's really nice to have a break from the podcast, but I've really enjoyed being in there today and meeting people and the optimism and the energy around not just the football club but also SportsTown. So if you can get behind SportsTown or at least get involved in the consultation and give your views, I think it's really important. The people that make the decisions see that people from Oldham, the people who it's going to affect, care about what happens and want to get involved. Sitting on your hands or moaning about it on Facebook or even praising it on Facebook or whatever is not going to do anything. It's only doing things that count, that matter, such as this consultation. So please do give that some serious thought. I'll put a link in the show notes so that you can access that. And just one last plea, I suppose, since we're talking about sponsorship and supporting the podcast. Is available to be sponsored this season. The phone-in is taken care of, but the podcast needs a main sponsor. And if you'd like to sponsor ads and things like that, we'd really like to hear from you. So if you're a local business, Latics fans do like to get behind the sponsors that we have. Pendle New Tech, who sponsored last season's podcast, got work at Boundary Park as a result. So it does pay off. Rates are very competitive, and you've got a captive audience for 9 months of the year. So please do give it a thought. If you want to reach out to me, email matt@northernmediaco.co.uk. And we'll be back towards the end of July with an interview with Micky Mellon and Darren Royle. Micky's confirmed that this morning. So until then, let's hope that England go all the way and Oldham kick off the season against Port Vale ready and raring to go. We'll find out more about that when we chat to Micky. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.